So wagwan, my people. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the propaganda machine. This is All Things Arsenal, episode 10. And on today's episode, we're looking at the fallout from the Man United game. We're going to do a preview of the Champions League game tonight against PSV, even though that is already over. The women looking at, is Renee Slegers the right appointment? Was she the right appointment? And the main story, Andrea Berta is coming to Arsenal. He should sign on the dotted line any day soon. But the first story, the Manchester United game. So we drew 1-1 against Man United at Old Trafford, which all but confirms what we already knew. Arsenal will not be winning the Premier League this year. We will not. So, 3 years in a row, the challenge has been unsuccessful. But now it looks like we are in a top four race. That is how it's looking, or top five. But we have enough points at the moment. We have a little bit of a cushion. So we should see it through. But whew, we got a big game at the weekend against Chelsea, and that will tell us a lot more because if we beat Chelsea, that probably all but confirms us finishing above them because I think they're 6 points behind us. I believe it is. Could be eight, but I think it's six. So if we win and it's 9 point gap with what, 9 games to go, nah, we can't let that one slip. Surely not. Surely we can't do that. But we look at the game. So the performance, it was another lackluster, drab performance. Very, very slow, tepid play from Arsenal. And yeah, it just didn't look very good. We didn't do the right business in the summer. And it's come back to get us. It's come back to get us this season. We didn't even try to fix our mistake in January. We made a fake bid for Ollie Watkins. That was probably PR. It's quite embarrassing if you ask me. But if you look at the game, yeah, like I said, lackluster, slow, pedestrian. Man United let us have the ball, and that seems to be a tactic many teams seem to want to employ against Arsenal. Just let them have it. Let them have the ball. They're not gonna do anything. Odegaard, he ain't gonna slap one in the top bins. He ain't gonna do that. He ain't got that in his locker. He has not got the facilities to just go and get the ball and just slap it top bins. We saw on the other side of the pitch, Bruno Fernandes, their captain, stepped up in a moment when they needed him. Free kick, great free kick. Yes, the wall apparently was 15 yards away. Raya, his positioning weren't the best, but still, he done what needed to be done. And that is what Odegaard needs to add to his game. We need him to do that. People are saying, oh, he's playing three positions, he's playing six, he's playing eight, he's playing 10. Come on, people. Let's stop making excuses and just demand for our players to do better. You don't need to be like me and want Odegaard necessarily stripped of captaincies, wanting Wanyeri to take over from him. You don't need to go that far. But surely you can see that he's not performing. This season has been abysmal for my captain. And I'm just hoping that he can find form in the Champions League because the Champions League seems like our only hope of winning silverware this season. So, Odegaard, I hope that you can get some sleep at night and turn up for the Champions League. Maybe just fly away for like 3 days beforehand, before the Champions League game with the team, just so that the baby's not waking you up, because that seems to be the reason why people are giving for your poor performances. But yep, Declan Rice in that game, magnificent. He's got some criticism for the celebration. Me, I went in too fitted on him. I don't know. After a couple of days, I'm just thinking, would I be talking about the celebration if we went and got the winner? The answer is no. I don't even think that'll be it. I don't think no one would have picked up on the celebration if we went and won that game. It's just not a good look that we didn't win the game. And yeah, it's 1-1 against Man United, their 15th. Come on. I don't expect to see my players celebrating an equaliser against Crystal Palace, Everton, Brentford in the 60th minute or so. I expect to see you get the ball, take it to the halfway line, and get ready for the restart. But all the all the more it don't really matter, because Declan Rice, he was sensational. He saved us in that game. Him, David Raya, brilliant performances. Urian Timber as well. He great assist, looked solid. They didn't really attack on his side. All the attacks went down the other side. Our left backs, they were getting done. Garnacho, that was one of his best games. He was causing non-stop trouble. Made Trossard foul him for the Bruno goal. Put one on the plate for Bruno. Yeah, I've probably been a bit harsh on him as well, Garnacho, even though this is an Arsenal show, but I can still talk about the other players from the other team, as we did play against Man United. But yeah, hopefully he can perform like that for Manchester United's sake. I don't really care, to be honest. But yep, the game ended 1-1. We were lucky. Like I said, Rice made a lot of saves. Calafiori got absolutely destroyed. Lewis Skelly didn't really cover himself in glory too much when he come on. Mikel Merino, is the striker experiment dead? I think it is. Now we've got Martinelli, Trossard, and Wanyeri. That should be the front three. Arteta, don't be an idiot. Don't be an idiot and keep trying to play Merino up front. I don't even. I think he's only scored what, once when he started up front, and that was the PSV game. He ain't scored in the league since he started up front. So maybe let's just curve that experiment. Let him come on last 20 minutes, just like the Leicester game, and then I won't have no complaints. Trossard, Martinelli, they can go up front because they're more natural forwards than he is. But that's kind of it for the Man United game. We move on. So today we have PSV in the second leg, and it's 7-1. I'm expecting to see wholesale changes. That's what I'm expecting to see today. I don't want to see any Saliba, Gabriel, Party, Rice. I don't want to see any of these players, because they say about momentum. Momentum for what? The league is done. So right now, we ain't got no momentum. We won 7-1 and then drew against Man United. So momentum is not a thing. Right now, we're putting all our eggs in that Champions League basket. We should pick up enough points in the Premier League. It's done. So I want to see Arteta protecting players for meaningless games. And as you can see here, I'm going to put up what I would do. So this would be my team. Neto in goal. Ben White, I'd play him right back. Kivior and Calafiori, the centre backs. Kieran Tierney, left back. I'd have Jorginho, Ethan Ranieri, and Zinchenko. Up front, none other than Wanyeri, Merino, and Sterling. That's my team. Let me know if you'd make even more changes, or no, you can't go stronger. I don't really want to hear from people that want to go stronger. It don't. This game is meaningless. If we get any injuries because Arteta decides to try to be smart and try and play a full side, that's just gonna be criminal. And I don't want to see that. I have no interest in seeing a full strength side. Hell no. But that's kind of my team for the game. And my score prediction for this game, hmm, I'll probably go with like a. Will probably be 1-1. We might even lose 2-1, but I ain't gonna predict a loss. So I'll go with 1-1 and we do enough. Hopefully we get to see some kids. I don't know why Salah Uladamhand hasn't got more game time because in the summer and in pre-season, he looked like the one. He looked like the next up. He was sensational for Arsenal. But he has not even had no minutes for the first team. So I don't know what is going on there. Maybe it's an attitude problem. I don't know. He's been at Arsenal for a minute now. And I think he's like 21. He might be older than a few of the players. So, yeah, I'm a bit frustrated that he hasn't got more game time. But it is where it is, isn't it? At the end of the day, Arteta, it's his job on the line. So just because I want to see academy players, it doesn't mean that they should play. But next story, you go on to Renee Slegers and the Arsenal women. So Renee Slegers, she came in as a interim manager when Jonas Eidevall got sacked, and she made her mark. 10 wins and 1 draw in her first 11 games. We had lost to Bayern Munich in the Champions League, but she came and she won 5 in a row in the Champions League to secure top spot. And we have Real Madrid next week in the first leg of the quarterfinal. So she done a stellar job to begin with. A 91% win ratio. She was on fire, undefeated. And then we decided to make it a permanent role on, I believe, January. It might have been January the 18th. We made it a permanent role. But ever since then, things have slightly started to drop off. She now has a 70% win ratio. 7 wins, 3 losses. But it's the losses that are really, really painful. They're the losses that count. She lost against Chelsea, which, fair enough. Chelsea, that was in the WSL. We're not expected to win the WSL because she already had the task on her hand. We were probably about 6 points behind Chelsea when she got the job. So she would have probably had to have won every single game just to even have a chance of winning. Because I believe Chelsea have only lost 1 game and won every single game in the WSL. So they look like they are running away with the league. So she lost that game, and it was dubious. Katie McCabe got sent off. I don't know why she got sent off. I haven't actually looked further into why she got sent off, but it was a late penalty. We lost that game. And then Manchester City, we had a double header against Man City. We beat them in the league 3-2. Very good game. Might have been 4-3, but I think it was 3-2. And then we played them a couple of days later in the League Cup, the Conti Cup, and Manchester City dumped us out. So the league, like I said, it didn't really matter too tough. Of course, we want to secure Champions League qualification, so we got to keep trying to get points there. But we got dumped out of the Conti Cup 2-1 to Manchester City. And yes, you'd probably say, Man City aren't a bad team. So that's not the worst result. It was a semi-final. We were one step away from Wembley and she got knocked out. But that's not the game that hurts. It's the next game, the last game the women played. We lost 1-0 to Liverpool, who are sixth in the WSL. That was a real dagger. 1-0. And I watched some of that game. We did not look too threatening. Liverpool had a lot of chances. We were trying to gift them goals. Van Domsela, I don't know what she was thinking. She was moving crazy in that game, trying to give goals to Liverpool. And in the end, what happened? She scored her own goal. It weren't her fault. A shot hit the post and rebounded off her back. But she was having such a stinker that, of course, that was going to happen. When you play so bad, luck is not on your side a lot of the time because you make your own luck. And I believe Liverpool made their own luck and they were great value for their money in that game. So now we're out of that and we only have the Champions League, which we have won once, but the odds of winning are very, very slim. So the question I pose is, was that the right appointment? Should we have waited? Should we have waited till the end of the season before making it permanent? Because I remember Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This is what I was saying just before she got appointed. I was saying, shall we just wait? She's doing so good. Why shall we try ruffle feathers? Why rock the boat by giving her the job permanently? And now, I don't know if we're starting to see some sort of crack, some sort of chink in our armor, or about getting over the line. But that's how it's kind of looking at the moment. But I guess we're gonna wait and see. Hopefully, we can get past Real Madrid in that quarter final, and then we're in the semi final, one step away. We did get to the semi final. I think it was either last year or the year before. We should have won that game against Wolfsburg. We gave it to them. So it'll be great to see the women going into a Champions League final. But that's kind of it for Arsenal women. Hopefully they can do something against Real Madrid. I think it might even be this week. I'm not too sure. But the headline story is Andrea Berta is one step away from joining Arsenal as the new sporting director. It is all but done. We're just waiting to hear from him. The club, I don't believe we've heard them confirm it, but it's all but done. And this is a man that comes with a great reputation in football. He's been at Atletico Madrid for 12 years and he was the sporting director. He was promoted in 2017 because he was previously in their scouting department. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the great business that he done. And we're going to also look at, since his time at the club, what did he do? What did he accomplish? And what did Atletico Madrid accomplish in his time in charge? So First, we'll start to take a look at their league finishes and what they won. Oh, he joined Atletico Madrid in 2013. I'm not quite too sure if it was 2012 13 season or in the 13-14 season, but either way, we just take a look at how he done. So, before that, as you can see, the couple years previously, ninth, 10th, no, ninth, 7th, 5th, 3rd. Diego Simeone actually came to Atletico Madrid in 2011-12. So Andrea Berta came to Atletico Madrid shortly after Diego Simeone. And as you can see here, which would have been his first year at the club, Atletico Madrid won La Liga. I don't know how long before that they were waiting for La Liga, but they were previously in the second tier of Spanish football. So they done a great job working together. And their league finishes there 13-14. They finished first, then third, second, third. And then again they won it in 2020-2021. So while he was there, two leagues, and the second one was while he was the sporting director. So he done a great job overseeing that because there was a lot of great business that got done in his time as the sporting director. Sorry. And if we take a look at what they actually won, so I'll briefly show you what Atletico Madrid briefly actually won in his time there. Here it is. So we do know that he had two La Ligas in his time there. One as the sporting director. Diego Simeone, he will always get the majority of the credit because yes, if you have a good structure, some people have a good structure and waste it. But when you have a good structure and the perfect manager, it just seems like the perfect storm. All things were aligned at Atletico Madrid. And as we can see here, this was their history in the Champions League. Like I said, he came as a scout. This would have probably been like his first season in the Champions League. Boom, they hit the final, lost against Real Madrid, quarter final, final, semi-final. Very, very good. Then they went out in the group stage. I believe that is his first season as the actual sporting director. They went out of the group stage. Chelsea, Carabao, and Roma were in their group. But what did he do? They were a winner of the Europa League. You do remember? Arsenal fans, you must remember. They dumped us out. Atletico, remember? Griezmann, they dumped us out. And then they beat Marseille in the final. So, him and Simeone, they looked like they were a match made in heaven from that moment forward. And then we got to keep looking. Copa del Rey, it's been a mixed bag. A lot of semi-finals, no success there. So, at this moment in time, they've got a Europa League, a league title. So, he's got a Europa League and a league title. What would Arsenal fans do just for something? A Europa League. Something. We need something. We're starving. We are starving for success. All we want to see as fans is just some trophy, some sort of silverware. So can he get Arteta the required players to get him over the line? I just hope he can because it seemed like him and Simeone were a match made in heaven, and yep, big ups to him. And as you can see here, he's a Super Cup winner. Him and Simeone, and they continued working well together. So that's a few trophies there. Of course, the Super Cupper as well. There's a lot of finals and semi-finals. They ain't got over the line. That's kind of the equivalent to the Community Shield, but in other countries, it's a bit different there. But yeah, so at this moment in time, it's not the worst. He looks like he has done a good job at Atletico Madrid. Those first 5 years, can he replicate those first 5 years? Multiple Champions League finals, semi-finals, Europa League, leagues. Oh, can he do this for Arsenal? Because right now, we seem to be missing an ingredient. I think it might be Arteta, but those of you that believe in Arteta, this guy might be able to buy the right players to get Arsenal and Arteta over the line. And that is the most important thing to me. Arsenal get over the line. I don't care if it's Arteta. If this guy gets rid of Arteta and brings in Simeone to win, I'm all for it. As long as we win, that is his job as the sporting director. That is the objective. Arteta said we're now in phase five. Phase five. I don't know what these phases are about. I'm not with the phases, but all I'm about is winning. So now we're in the final phase. I'm seen as an Arteta critic by many people, but I know he's going to stay there. He's here for at least next season, even if he doesn't win nothing this season. So we're going to see, aren't we? We're going to find out one way or another what is the problem at Arsenal Football Club, because many people believe Edu weren't good enough. Him and Arteta weren't a good mix. It was like they were mates. Believe me, this guy ain't coming to be mates. He's coming for success. And hopefully, we get that success at Arsenal Football Club. But the next thing I want to do, I want to look at some of his dealings. Who did this man bring to Atletico Madrid? How does he sell? That is what we're going to look at next. So I'm going to quickly put up the graphic about his transfer dealings. So as you could see, he was on the scouting department from 2013, and there's some notable names on there. David Villa, bought from Barcelona for 2.1 million. I don't think you need to be a scout to know that David Villa is a talent. So whoever was the director of football at the time, they gotta get credit for this, because he came in and this is the year they won their first La Liga title. Toby Alderweireld, 7 million. A very, very great piece of business because he was an underrated centre back. His partnership with Jan Vertonghen at Spurs helped make them challenge. So I know we all remember this. They got rid of Radamel Falcao, 43 million, good piece of business. But like I said, that is not really too much on him because he's a scout. He's not really part of the people that sell. But another piece of business, Jan Oblak, 16 million. Him and Anton Griezmann. These players, they were probably little known names. I don't think many people at the time would have known or heard about them. And I'm sure he played a part in finding these talented players and bringing them in to Atletico Madrid. As you can see here, a young Thomas Partey and Lucas Hernandez, they were all promoted from Atletico B team. They were all promoted. More business. We've got Diego Jota, 7 million. And we know what kind of player Diego Jota turned out to be. So they spotted a real gem. Then Theo Hernandez, another player promoted. I don't know how it works, but however it does work, Atletico seem like they promote some brilliant players, some absolute gems. But we take a look at the year that he was first promoted to the sporting director in 2017. So the business, as we can see, he only got Vitolo and Diego Costa for 95 million euros. Diego Costa, I remember, he didn't want to go. So some people, I mean, he didn't want to stay at Chelsea. So some people were probably thinking, this kind of business is not the right business. It's a bit too much for a player that wants out. But at the same time, it still is Diego Costa. We know that he is a fantastic player. But just look at also what he sold. He sold Theo Hernandez to Real Madrid. I don't know how good a piece of business that is. 24 million euros seems to be cheap. Yannick Carrasco and Nico Gaetan. Nico Gaetan, that's another figment of people's imagination. He's like a football manager player, but they were sold to China. So he seems to have links in all over the world. He got rid of these players. So that seemed a bit underwhelming first year, if we're being honest, yeah? Because we do propaganda here, but we're not biased. We are not biased. Diego Jota was sold to Wolves after his loan, because he was loaned the previous year. 14 million. You'd probably say, it's a bit cheap, but they did actually double their money, so fair enough. You can see they're doubling money. He's doubling money. And how much did he make? 57? And let me see how much he made. He made 104 in his first year. So 10 million profit. Second year, he didn't make a profit, but here it is. He bought Rodri. Noticeable name. Rodri arrived 20 million euros. Woof. This could be one of the steals of the century. A Ballon d'Or winner bought for 20 million euros from Villarreal. Thomas Lemar, 72 million. That has got a big question mark on it. I remember Arsenal put in the bid. How much was it? Was it 92 or 72? I don't know. A lot of money, but in pounds. But there it is. That's his first big signing, Thomas Lemar. If he makes those kind of signings at Arsenal, I think there's gonna be a lot of people that are thinking, hmm, is this guy a fraud? But now, when we look at this, 1920, and let me just quickly look. What year was it they won the league? They won the league in 2020, 2021. Okay, so this was a very, very busy window. This was the year before they won the league. As you can see here, João Felix, €127 million. He was a wonder kid at the time. A lot of people were like, Atletico buying João Felix, 127 million. The deal at the time didn't make sense, considering the way Simeone plays football. João Felix didn't seem like that type of player, a Diego Simeone player. So that business, that weren't the best as well. Another big money deal that looks like it went wrong. But he got Marcos Llorente as the Rodri replacement for 30 million. Kieran Trippier. They seem to be gearing up for that league title because this was the year before. We look at the departures. So they spent how much? €247 million. But the players they sold. Anton Griezmann, €120 million. Lucas Fernandez, an academy prospect, €80 million. Rodri, €70 million, who they bought for 20. Griezmann was bought for 30. So just from €50 million, he was able to sell €270 million, a €220 million profit. So you can tell this guy, he gets the job done. We know at Arsenal, we don't sell correctly. We have an issue in selling players. But this man knows how to get the job done. And that summer, or that year anyway, he sold €316 million. So that's probably why they went and bought a João Felix, because they had cash to burn. Even though it weren't the best, but still good business, all the less. And then this is the year they won the title. They went and got Lucas Torreira on a loan from Arsenal. Moussa Dembele loan fee €1 million. Luis Suarez €9 million, who was bought from Liverpool for about 75. He clearly weren't finished because he came and done a job. Jeffrey Kondogbia. This was a name. Many people were thinking, who is this guy? Who is he? We're always hearing about him. Is he the next Vieira? Yannick Carrasco, they brought him back from China. Alvaro Morata, 35 million from Chelsea. So, those were the signings he made. We probably would have looked at it at the time. Looking at it now, you're thinking, it seems underwhelming. But here, between him, Simeone, and the players, it all worked out, and Atletico collected their second piece of silverware under, well, their second league title under Diego Simeone. Who else? Thomas Partey was sold €50 million. He had the release clause, so it weren't the worst. It weren't the worst. And how much? They sold 100. They sold, sorry, €83 million. So those of you that like next spend, it was only a £9 million spend to win the title. So most seasons, this guy makes profit. He makes profit, but he makes the squad better. The squad looks and seems better and better nearly every year. Then they went and got Griezmann again, 10 million loan fee. Mateus Cunha, 35 million. Rodrigo De Paul, 35 million. Who He's been a very, very good signing. That's another one of the Simeone players. Very, very good business. That season, they didn't sell the best, but still, they had cash to burn because they won the league. So I'm guessing they had added revenue. So as we can see here, I won't go on and on and on and on and bore you with all these signings. As you can see, the pie for cheap. Just a few players. They've got Griezmann back permanently, 22 million after fleecing thing for all that money. But Barcelona, Mateus Cunha got rid of him for 50. So this guy, he knows what he's doing. More recently, we see him buy Julian Alvarez, sold back Jao Felix to Chelsea, 52 million. He got rid of him. So it seems like he lost money, but I think that's like 4 years later. So the way amortization works, I don't know if that's how it works in Spain, but I'm pretty sure Jao Felix would have been sold for a profit. That's probably why they brought in Conor Gallagher. So yeah, man, this guy, I'm very, very, very excited about seeing what he can do at Arsenal and seeing if he can take Arteta to the next level to get him over the line. Because Arsenal, we're a club, we need trophies. We can't keep coming second. We can't keep getting dumped out semi final, quarter final. We can't keep having this. But guys, the last piece of thing that I'm gonna look at, what do we need? Where is the priorities this summer? I'm looking at a striker and I'm looking at a winger. He needs to get these correct. It's very, very huge task at Arsenal for him because right now all the fans were all excited. We're all looking forward to him coming to the club. But now he needs to deliver. We are linked with Lautaro Martinez. I don't know if that is necessarily the player that is going to take us over the line because the way he plays is a 3-5-2 and he's playing in Italy. So is it going to work? I don't know. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm going to give this guy a few transfer windows to see what he can do. If he's making the right signings in the right areas. So if he buys, say, a winger and a striker this summer, if it don't work out, cool. I'm going to give him a pass. But at least he's making an effort. Edu didn't make the effort. He left us short. He brought us Raheem Sterling this summer. And as all Arsenal fans know, Raheem Sterling, I feel so sorry for Raheem Sterling. Why is he at Arsenal Football Club? Are we a charity? Are we a crash? No. I've said he's like I show speed at this stage of his career. It's more vibes. So hopefully he can get the right players in, but more importantly, out. Because Arsenal, we seem to have a lot of players on the books that do not need to be there. And I'm going to share what I would do if I was a sporting director. So I'm just going to be looking at him a bit. Of course, he might know more than me between him and Arteta, but still, these are the players that we currently have on our books. I might have forgot one or two, but these are the most important players. So we start with our goalie all the way down. I'm just going to quickly, it's going to be brief. I won't keep you guys too long. We've got Neto, Raya, Setford. I keep Setford, I keep Raya, but we return Neto back to where he needs to go. The defenders, Tierney's leaving. Tomiyasu, he needs to go. his legs are finished. Kivio needs to go. Zinchenko needs to go. So this, I need to see him get top dollar for these players. He needs to bring in the cash because I'm expecting a big summer and we need to fund it. We already have cash there. We already have money, but we need to sell as well so we can spend even more money. Because between who? Zinchenko, Kivio, Tomiyasu, Tierney, that is at least, I'd say, between 250 and 350 off the wage bill per week, which would be phew, a lot of money. And hopefully we could probably bring in the region of 50 million for Zinchenko, Kivio, just them two alone. Tomiyasu, we can't sell him at the moment because they're saying he's out for the season. He's out for the year even. But still, I'm expecting to see a good amount of money brought in. And then we have Jorginho, who's getting released. Thomas Partey and Marino, I've put question marks over them. Is he going to give Partey a new deal? Because the rumours are they were looking to give it to Jorginho. So I've put release. I don't know if Jorginho's leaving, but surely you keep Partey and release Jorginho, or well, you can't really get rid of both of them, can you? Because then we're going to be left short. Because we'll just have what? Zubimendi and Declan Rice as our DMs? Unless Arteta has something else in mind. I've put Miles Lewis Skelly as a midfielder because that is his preferred position. So we got a lot to do this summer. There's a lot of work for Andrea Berta to do when he comes in. Rice, Wanyeri, Odegaard, keep. Ideally, I had Salah, Amhand, and Max Dowman to be promoted. Then forward areas. Jesus and Trossard. I don't know how long Jesus is out for, but I'd like to see him sold as soon as possible because there's no point keep waiting for another injury. Just get rid of him. I don't even think he should play no more games for Arsenal. Well, he is a good trainer, but his body just can't help but break down. We got to start thinking about ourselves now. I need to start seeing people being ruthless. And I want to see our sporting director come in straight away and say, you know what? Bun these man. These man are gone. I put a question mark on Martinelli as well because I've been hearing rumors of 35 million to Barcelona. 35. What big man? Go and get 50 mil. Go and get 60 mil. Let's sell our players accordingly. Let's get top, top, top dollar for our players. So as I've said, this man, he has a big job on his hand when he comes in. And we're all intrigued to see what he can do between him and Arteta. But guys, we've had a look at I keep saying Roberto Alabe. Andrea Berta, we've had a look at what he can do. Let me know if you think he is what Arsenal need. Or are you in the camp of Arteta is just not good enough? Get him gone. I don't know. Everyone's going to have an opinion. I'm just interested to hear what we all have to say. But guys, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. This has been All Things Arsenal, episode 10. See you on the next one, folks. Bless.